Talk about Harvey Bullock.
Harvey Bullock is awesome. You know, Harvey Bullock is like, he feels like a Raymond Chandler character to me. So, just classic American noir, someone out of kind of a James Ellroy world. So I love playing Harvey.
How physical is going to be your character?
Physical? He's pretty physical. He's a bit of a brute. He crosses the line. He's definitely in the bad cop, good cop scenario. He's always the bad cop. So. It's pretty physical. It's not as physical as doing Vikings, but you know. So, and it's certainly not as violent. Whenever people are like, so violent, it's like you should watch some other TV shows. They're pretty bad. Walking Dead's really violent.
But it's gonna be dark.
Dark. It's dark. Yeah. But dark with a theatrical edge. It's not dark like me and Sons of Anarchy killing a hooker in a motel room and then, you know, cutting her body up in the bathtub. Like, you know.
You've been in some dark
I've done
stuff.
some dark. I did some dark stuff. You know, when people ask those questions, I'm like, I'm trying to adjust to the theatrical violent universe as opposed to the you drive home from work and you're really disturbed by what you did that day universe. You know. But I feel like violence, like Bruno said, violence is important to be. It's part of the world, and it's important not to. The biggest disservice, and people get mad about it, is like when you make violence cartoony, that's when kids and people disassociate from the real impact of violence, you know? And so it's, you treat it with respect. When you play a certain kind of character, you play that character. You don't, if you play a bad person, you don't play him like, I'm a nice guy, I'm winky, and they're just making me play like, no one learns from something when they play like the nice Nazi. To go, I don't do that, I wouldn't, I'm not Anna Smith. You're like, these guys did this, they said this, invest in it like they would because the story's got to be told or else no one learns, you know? And there's a difference between like, in Sons of Anarchy, they showed a school shooting, people like, they crossed the line for me, that show. And I'm like, so you've been down with it for 5 years where they're selling guns to people, God knows who they kill or what they do, but when someone actually is responsible enough to show that there's a consequence to this kind of behavior, now you're offended. And to me, that's always absurd.
One more question. I was just going to ask, when or how did you find the time to do the pilot for Gotham? Because you were also on Vikings, Sons of Anarchy, and Law & Order SVU.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. When I was doing the pilot for Gotham, I was doing those 2 Law & Order SVU episodes with Pablo Schreiber. So it was bad. Like, we'd leave at 4 in the morning from this and I got picked up at 5 in the morning to go do the other one, and I was almost, it was the first time in my life, and I've pushed it a lot, I was like, I gotta go to the hospital, because we were working like 22 hours a day, and it was 20 or 30 below, and I know you don't want to talk about this, because only among other actors, someone's like, damn, that was intense, you know, but other people are like, oh, I'm sorry, the helicopter with the Royal, I mean, I'm super grateful for my job, and I got no problems with it, but that was an intense period, but it was also a thrilling period, because I think between the pilot of Gotham and those 2 episodes of Law & Order, it was, you know, I don't know, I can't say because they're all like children, like Vikings and Sons of Anarchy and Copper was a show. I just had I think, regardless of what anyone else, outside stuff, I know internally that I don't think any actor has had a luckier 2-year, year-and-a-half span than me to have those kinds of different characters to play, you know, so it was hard, but it was thrilling.